This is the video that was the most highly requested video from the poll that I put on my community tab. So this one is for everyone that voted for seeing how much YouTube paid me for my video that I put out a few months ago that got over 100,000 views. Welcome back to Sparrows and Diaries if you are one of those people that are subscribed and who voted in that poll, and a very warm welcome if you are new around here. I'm Mel and I'm a former teacher who has built up quite a few online income streams, and I make a range of videos where I document my progress and I share work from home vlogs and things like that. And if that kind of thing appeals to you, then head over to the subscribe button and make yourself a regular here. Now this is the video that performed way better than my videos usually do in terms of views anyway, and what I'm going to show you in just a moment is all of the behind the scenes information that I get in YouTube Studio. Those of you that have a channel will be familiar with that. For those of you that don't have a YouTube channel though, you still might find it interesting to see what kind of stats and data I get about my channel. It is a good job that I'm going to stop filming this segment soon because the light in here is being really odd. Anyway, without further ado, let's go and take a look at those stats. Right then, let's make a start taking a look at some of these video analytics. I'm just going to take you through the tabs across the top of the screen, so these ones up here. And we're going to start by looking at reach for the video. So 1.5 million impressions. It was put in front of, or has been put in front of, 1.5 million people so far. The click-through rate is 6.8%, which isn't particularly high, nor is it particularly low. I would say it's relatively average. Certainly I've had a lot of videos that have a much higher click-through rate than this one. In spite of that, since being published on the 1st of October, and I'm recording this on the 18th of January, the video has managed to achieve 130,000 views, almost 131,000 views actually. It's staggering. You can see the 129.3 thousand more than usual because it just wasn't typical for my channel in the slightest. I usually get somewhere between, I don't know, maybe like 1,000 to 2,000 views, more in that kind of region. I've had the odd video get more than that, but when I say more than that, I'm thinking sort of around the 5,000 to 10,000, or I think I might have one that's sitting around 12,000, that sort of territory. And those are very few and far between. I generally speaking don't make videos that are designed to like blow up in some way. I don't even make that many videos that are based on or kind of made with a view to them showing up in search. I have some that are a bit like that, but not many of them. Most of the time it's just chatty vlogs about the different things that I'm working on, and that's it. But this one, for some unknown reason, just captured, I think, people's imagination, or it's connected with something that people are feeling about Amazon KDP, something that is relatable to them, I guess. And it's that thing where you somehow have accidentally put your finger on the pulse without realizing it. I think that's what's happened. But it's still interesting to see what kind of difference it's made to my channel and the kind of difference it's made to my finances. So yes, 1.5 million impressions, 6.8% click-through rate, and nearly 131,000 views. We'll have a quick look at where the traffic has come from. So 3/4 of it is from browse features, 15% is from YouTube search. Now that is fairly recent that it's showing up in search, and that's a really good thing for the longevity of this video. When I was looking at some of this data on the YouTube Studio app, it was showing that like YouTube search was like 3%, 4%, 5%. It was really low, and it's only gone up to 15%, which I think is a pretty decent chunk of that overall view count. That's happened fairly recently, but it's something that I'm really pleased about. Right, let's take a look at engagement next and see if that can tell us anything interesting. 8.7 thousand watch time hours. I mean, you can see that's a lot higher than usual. The average view duration though is really short, and I tell you why that is. It's because I mentioned, and I think it was at around 4 minutes, I told people how much money I'd made from the 150 books. And for a lot of people, And it will be the same with this video as well. And I do understand why that is. People who are really interested in me and what I'm doing, they just want to know the number because the money is important to them. It's something that they're factoring into their decision making. So as soon as I revealed the number at 4 minutes, loads and loads of people just switched off at that point, and you can see it. Having said that, because it's a fairly short video, it still means that 25%, you know, a quarter of the video on average is being viewed. But usually for one of my videos, I'd be looking at something between 30 to 50%. The likes versus dislikes, I don't even look at that. I'm sorry if you're like giving me a thumbs down. I just don't even pay attention to it. So it makes no difference to my output. It makes no difference in terms of the types of videos that I'm making. Hopefully for the people that are putting the thumbs down, it's training the algorithm for them so that they aren't shown anything from me again or a video that's similar to mine. But in terms of it influencing what I'm doing on my channel, no. Doesn't at all. Yes, you can see here, so 60% of viewers are still watching at around the 30-second mark, which is below typical. So normally my videos are watched by people who are following me and are interested in the things that I'm doing, whereas with this video there's a little bit more of that, what I would call almost like drive-by traffic, people just stopping by to get a number and then disappearing again. Right, let's take a look at audience. Oh, this isn't very helpful, YouTube. Thanks for that. It's not very helpful at all. Anyway, let's take a look and see what we've got in terms of new subscribers. So 3.1 thousand new subscribers, which feels like a huge number because honestly, usually on a month by month basis, I maybe gain 200 to 300 subscribers. It's not a fast growing channel because I'm talking about a variety of different things. I am fully aware that I'm not going to see the growth that I would see if I just spoke about one topic. But been there and I've done that before, and it gets very, very boring. I run out of things to say. I can't be bothered to do the videos because I'm just not interested in the topic anymore. This channel is much, much more like a diary of all the different things that I'm trying, and sometimes giving people hints and tips and kind of showing people how they can do things too. But mainly it's a record of what I'm doing, and I'm kind of hoping that that helps people just from sharing. So to get an extra 3,000 subscribers, although it's a very, very, very small percentage of that 130,000 views, but I'm really glad it's actually such a small number compared to that, because the last thing I want is a load of people subscribing to the channel that aren't interested in what I'm doing and aren't interested in that variety of different online business topics and things that I talk about. So hopefully what's happened is the channel is set out in a way that makes it really, really clear what's going on and what it's all about. I think it's a well organized channel in terms of the playlists and thumbnails and things like that. And what I'm hoping has happened is that it's really repelled the people that wouldn't be interested in the things that I'm doing anyway. They've looked at it, taken one look at it probably and thought, no, it's not for me. And then 3,000 people have taken a look at it and thought, actually, do you know what? There might be some other good KDP content on here. There might be some other online businesses that this person's investigating or exploring or setting up that might be really useful to me too. And I've had people that have left comments just saying, oh, you're doing what I want to do, so this is great for me. This is exactly what I want to watch. So that's really good as well. Right, so this is my breakdown of kind of who my audience are and where they are. So this is different from my channel overall. So in terms of gender, we've got 63% female, 36%, 37% male. That's usually a higher percentage of female and a slightly lower percentage of male viewers. But I think this video had perhaps a slightly more universal appeal. And then in terms of age, it makes sense really that the biggest brackets that I've got is sort of ranging from 35 up to 64, and I'm about to be 44, so I'm just at the top end of this one here. So the people watching me are predominantly people around my own age, which I think is exactly what I would expect. And I definitely hope that the channel is showing people slightly younger than me and perhaps older than me that I'm not doing anything special here, and other people can definitely do this as well. And it doesn't matter if you're in your 40s or your 50s or even in your 60s, you can still do some of these things that I'm doing to earn a bit of extra money. So that's great. Again, as you would expect, most of my watch time has come from people that aren't subscribed. I'm not, you know, if this was the case on some of my vlogs and things like that, I might be a little bit worried, but on a video like this, of course, most people aren't subscribers. And then the locations has been really interesting to see how that has changed. To begin with, it was a higher percentage in the UK and then a sort of smaller percentage in the US. Then that kind of evened out and then completely flipped on its head. You know, 50% of the people that watched that video have come from the US. We've still got a, you know, big chunk of people from the UK, which is where I'm from. And then Canada has come in there with quite a significant percentage, and Australia. We've got India there. If I click on see more, it brings up a massive thing that we don't want to look at, so we'll ignore that. But yeah, so that's really lovely to have at least had one video kind of introduced to people all over the world. And now the moment you've all been waiting for: how much money has nearly 131,000 views got me? Now, the revenue that you will see will probably be a day or two behind. It's maybe showing the revenue that I have made from probably like 126,000 views, because the revenue is never completely up to date. But let's have a look. Let's see what it says. And it will come up in pound sterling, but I will convert it into USD for everyone as well. So that video has made me £1,390.57. I think that is that 1 day or 2 days behind, I think. So that's come up to Tuesday the 16th, and we're part way through the 18th, so it's about a day and a half behind. I mean, that will have tipped over to £1,400 by the time it actually updates to the 18th. In US dollars, it's $1,763.78. That's just using like a whatever currency converter comes up on Google first. So £1,400 and almost $1,800 for that video. My RPM for this, so £10.75. Let me just work out what that is. Hold on, I will put it on screen. I'm currently just looking it up on my phone because I did not prepare very well for this video. I just thought, right, let's just make that today. So in US dollars, that's $13.64. For me, this isn't a particularly high RPM. This is a fairly average standard one. And the RPM has fluctuated throughout the like the time span of the video being published. There was a point, and I think it was around about here, when the video seemed to sort of really take off, that I'm sure the CPM or the RPM had crept up at that point. I'm still really pleased with that. I mean, who couldn't be pleased with getting £1,400? I mean, just for one video, one 16-minute video. I'm so pleased. I'm so pleased that I have reaped a load of positives from it, but I'm also really pleased that I don't seem to have suffered any adverse effects from it as yet. My latest video that I put out, the how I budget my 12k income, that one is performing as like normal, is performing typically. It doesn't seem to be performing better or worse than anything else. I think it's in like 4th place in my last 10 videos in terms of how well it's doing. That's okay with me. It feels like everything's now, it's going back to normal, and it's back to business, and it's back to just continuing to produce the kind of videos that I really enjoy producing and that my core audience really likes watching. And then if I occasionally have a video that, you know, blows up, even if it's just a tiny little bit more than usual, then that's fantastic. Right, I'm back over here again in these strange patches of light that are coming through my window at the moment. Anyway, I just wanted to come back on here and say thank you so much for watching this video, and also for watching the original video if you saw that one as well. It made a huge difference to my finances as I ended the year, and also just gave me a little bit of a boost as well, which was very lovely. I'm actually trying to dodge the light patches a little bit here, but if you have any questions, then drop them into the comments below. I think the next most popular video idea was my 2024 financial and business goals, so I will get to recording that as soon as possible and pop that one out. Then I think we have coming up a decluttering the office video, which I have started in spite of the mess that you can see. I have got 50 items that I have managed to get out of this room, and I'm aiming for over 100 items decluttered before I finish filming that video. And after that, there should be a video about the Spoonflower shop that I set up before Christmas, where I was using the Repper app to create some patterns for it. I will be back on that very soon as well. So thank you so much for stopping by, and I will see you in the next video.